What's up, everybody? My name is not ScottJAw. For those of you guys who don't recognize my voice and probably figured that it wasn't Scott's, my name is ArraySeven. Scott's playing medic right now. What's going to happen is Scott is going to have some sort of medic contract or some sort of other contract, and whatever contract he has, he's going to talk about what got buffed or nerfed pertaining to that contract. Now, you might ask yourself, well, what the hell is Array doing narrating this for Scott? Well, unfortunately, Scott is a terrible medic, and I'm a terrible scout. So, since he has a medic contract, we're going to flip-flop that up a little bit. I'm going to be talking about the Vaccinator and the Solemn Vow just a wee bit, and Scott's going to be backing me up with some sick vocals. How you doing, Scott?
I'm doing good, not ScottJAw. How are you doing? That's the real question.
I'm doing great, not at ArraySeven. I'm doing absolutely great. So basically, what do you want to talk about today, huh? What specifically are we talking about?
I want to talk about this horrible class. I mean, this really cool class known as Medic. I killed a bunch of people and I'm getting points, but I don't really like it. Since I have to play Medic and I have absolutely no clue how to do this shit, I wanted to bring you in so that you could talk about the buffed or nerfed Solemn Vow and Vaccinator. I said Solemn Vowel, like it is a part of the alphabet.
The Solemn Vow it's the Solemn Vow is the silent E. That is the most solemn vowel out there.
So, Solemn Vow, Vaccinator. Tell us what happened to these weapons, because I really have no clue.
To answer your question, ScottJAw, a lot of people know that I love the bone saw. Bone saw is my thing. Bone saw is that's how I got started on YouTube. And for a while now, people have asked me why I don't just use the Solemn Vow, since it's pretty much a straight upgrade. Well, way back when, I said that at some point, Valve is going to nerf the Solemn Vow, because, let's face it, straight upgrades are a complete no-no for Valve, but you wouldn't know it because of the Liberty Launcher and Airstrike. They pretty much might as well be straight upgrades at this point. However, I'm just happy that now with the nerf, I called it, and on top of that, I now have statistical superiority. Now, in the end, 10% swing speed really isn't that much of a difference. You know, like 10% is not noticeable. That's about as noticeable as I don't know. Like let's say a frog that's invisible on frickin' Grop from Harry Potter's ankle. Like that's one of the most least noticeable things out there. You think? You know, I would hope so. But anyway.
You lost me about a minute ago when you started talking about Harry Potter.
See, it's all relative. Everything,
in West Virginia?
It's all relative in West Virginia. I'm from West Virginia, and I'm my own cousin, damn it. No, the thing with the Solemn Vow is that people don't really use it that much, because let's face it, the Uber Saw dwarfs everything. It seriously does.
Right. I even know that, and I don't play Medic ever.
The sheer fact that you get 25% Uber, you know, and Uber is already such like a game-changing advantage, it just completely dwarfs any sort of project, or not project, any sort of advantage that the Solemn Vow would give you. I mean, sure, you can have like knowing what the other person's health is, but if you're playing competitively, your team should already be telling you, you know? Like your team can tell you how much damage they've done to somebody, and everyone's closely knit and talking to each other. So pretty much the Solemn Vow is only useful on pubs, you know, which is the case for a lot of weapons. But you know, the thing is, it's very difficult to justify using it when there's so many better alternatives. Even the Bone Saw is a better alternative, because it has the statistical advantage, and you heard that right, statistical. I'm trying to make that a trend. Everyone makes statistical a trend. The statistics, the statistes. There you go. That's what that is. Anyway, so moving on to the Vaccinator. Now, the Vaccinator is an interesting subject. I've never had much of a relationship with the Vaccinator. It's like my stepdad who beat me when I was a larva. He didn't really think, like, it doesn't really, how do I put this? It doesn't gel well with how I play. With me, the medic I play very aggressively as medic, and unfortunately the Vaccinator is very defense-oriented, obviously, but you can play offensively with it anyway. But the Vaccinator is designed to help you push through certain choke points. Now, especially in 6s where fire isn't even existent, it's just bullets and explosions most of the time anyway. You can easily push through. You can easily push through something with like the resistance, you know. But basically, the nerfs that they added, I think was I can't really remember specifically.
Well, I have them here, so I can read them off.
What do you got?
They fixed the bug that gave the Vaccinator patients full crit immunity. They gave the base resist, the Vaccinator base resist does not grant any crit resistance. The Vaccinator Uber deploys now always, takes exactly 1 bar of Uber charge. The Uber deploys gives the patient a 2.5 second bubble of 75% damage resistance off of the current resistance type and full crit resistance of that type. These bubbles do not disappear if the medic stops targeting the current patient. Multiple bubbles of different types can be applied to the same patient or multiple patients given the same resist Uber, each consuming 1 charge. Wow, that was long-winded.
I know.
Vaccinator.
It's such a finicky weapon. You know, it's not something straightforward as the metagun. You know, this heals people. You're invincible for 8 seconds. Problem solved. No, the problem with the Vaccinator is that it's very, very picky, it's very meticulous and tedious at how it works, you know, and there's only certain, like, there's whatever it's good for, it's really good at, you know, but there's only so many, like, instances where you can use it, whereas the metagun and arguably the Kritzkrieg can pretty much pull you out of the gutter in any instance, you know. But the biggest thing that the Vaccinator had on me was the crit resistance, and I had no idea that was a bug, honestly. I had no idea that was a bug. But the thing with that is it was a counteraction to hackers, actually. And I always thought it was a nice pun, considering it was the Vaccinator, you know, Vaccinator. That's funny. That's a good joke there. Anyway, it blocked the headshots. You know, you switch to bullet resistance, you pocket a sniper, and if like it was an enemy sniper who was hacking or enemy heavy, you could demolish them, even with crits and like the no spread hacks on, you know. And that was beautiful. That was part of the fun of counteracting a hacker. I made a video a while ago where someone completely unrelated to me hacked, and you know, that we just saw from the server a bunch of people like going to counter the hacker, you know, just to shit on his fun, you know, because he's doing the same to them, which I understand, obviously. But now with the Vaccinators, like, that ability removed, people aren't going to use that anymore. You know, the bullet resistance might work, but not so much with anything else. But the real advantage I have with the Vaccinator is the fact that the Ubers are split up into 4 groups. Now, that makes it much less devastating when you drop, because now you can be so much more flexible. No longer do you have to, like, wait for your whole team to push up. You can easily pocket one person and let them just roll straight through, you know, with explosive or bullet resistance. And also the nice thing that they changed was the Ubers last for about 2.5 seconds, you know, which if you add it up is actually technically a longer Uber charge than the stock. That's, what is that, like 10, yeah, it's 10 seconds of Uber charge, which is different to the 8 that the stock metagun gets you. But the bottom line is, you know, being able to have all those Ubers at a time lets you Uber somebody, switch to another person, and Uber them at the same time, you know, all while being able to have like at least a little bit of a pocket, like at least that quarter of the Vaccinator left for you to get the hell out if the situation arises, because you can never be afraid to pop on yourself if you have to. As the great SFM artist, I forget his name, I think it's Angry Sock Puppet, pop it, don't drop it, right? That's the golden rule.
Right, yeah.
Anyway, the point
is... Which I tend to drop it.
Yeah. Well, the point is, you want to make sure that, you know, you keep your Ubers flexible. You keep things kind of moving in the right direction. And, you know, like I said, dropping's not so much of a problem, you know, with the Vaccinator. But unfortunately, you are certainly swapping off the invincibility, obviously. But you're also swapping off kind of your survivability, because invincibility as a medic on low health and you're trying to get the hell out is a godsend. You know, survivability as a medic has been the #1 struggle. You know, it's like we should have been picked off the evolutionary chain a long time ago, but you know, we weren't. So we're such an important person that everybody starts healing us. But yes, that's the real problem with the Vaccinator, is that the resistances are so picky, and they don't even protect you against melee. That's the problem, you know. But they're so picky, so meticulous, and it only has uses that really aren't very clear at the beginning. But if you know how to use it and you know when to use it, that's the key. You can easily just roll with it, especially with like some classes that are constantly focus fired by the same type of damage. You know, much like a sniper doesn't receive any fire damage most of the time. You can probably pocket him with you know, bullet resistance and get some easy picks, especially with the sniper resistance, with the bullet resistance on Highlander. That's always useful. But right, basically the overheal nerf that the Vaccinator has is devastating. That is what keeps me from using it in an actual legitimate match, because overheals are critical, and at minus 66% build rate, that is abysmal. Like, I can count the numbers climbing when I'm overhealing somebody. It is painful. But yeah, that's my opinion on it. I'm very confused about it because I haven't used it nearly enough to actually find, you know, the right situation to use it. As far as I'm concerned, it's just something to push through chokes with, honestly, where you're getting demo and soldier spam, but that's really all I know. That and snipers. Pocketing a sniper as the Vaccinator with bullet resistance is always fun, because headshots really don't work as well as they used to.
Yeah, especially like the DDS headshots, those are always fun.
Oh.
But I don't think I've ever honestly used the Vaccinator. Like I think I've used the crits and the Uber, and that's it. I only have a couple, maybe 100 hours as medic. It's not really my thing because I feel guilty when I suck and let the team down because I suck.
Yeah, I know that.
So I probably could, you know, practice more. But I mean, what fun is that, right?
I know, practicing in TF2 bullshit.
I know. I can't focus too much energy away from Scout.
We're a generation of instant gratification, okay? If it's not there at the snap of our toes, it's not even worth our time. Not even.
I mean, let's be honest. That's, you know.
That was a totally uncalled for pun, and I should sock you in the mouth for it, but I won't because somehow
because it was good.
Yeah, it was kind of good. I'll give you that. But it's unrelated. That's the problem. You can't just spit shit out there, you know? Like, let's say you just, like, you can't just say, you know, you detonate somebody with a sticky launcher. You can't just say something like, "Mice to meet you." No, you gotta say something like, "You're in a sticky situation, bitch." No. You gotta have a little bit of panache with it, you know?
According to my good friend Steve, I can do anything that I wanna do. So that's a Blue's Clues reference if you didn't know.
I don't really watch Blue's Clues.
Or as Alex calls it, Booze Coos.
Booze Coos. I like this kid's style.
Yeah.
Reminds me of me when I was 14.
All right, Array. Well, thank you very much for coming by and talking about medics, since I had no clue what you were talking about, but I'm sure the people that are watching this video that play medic will have an idea. So thank you very much. I appreciate you.
Happy to oblige, my friend. Happy to
And
oblige.
now will you heal me so that I can kill people again? Because this medic shit just isn't working out for me.
Sweet.